Hey Keelan, I came up with a really funny and clever and witty idea thing the other day. 2020 vision.
Oh, you came up with it, did you?
Yeah. Happy New Year, you motherfuckers.
We're 3 days in.
3 days in. Delayed as always. We're a little bit late. Where the fuck have we been? What's happened?
I don't know. When was the last podcast released?
Well, the last one came out a little bit before Christmas because it was part 1 of the Hendo series, and Hendo still hasn't been paid. Therefore, we can't release
part 2
in case it stops him getting paid.
Yeah, I feel like since then there's been a lot going on.
Well, I mean Christmas and New Year.
Well, yeah, you go Christmas, New Year, and then
Baby
for Love
Jesus, all that.
It's all the stuff.
Yes. How was your Christmas and your birthday? Given that Keelan is born on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Worst.
Yeah.
Birthday timing ever.
Well, it could have been Christmas. It was that close, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? As you get older,
you could be Jesus. Like, just historically, if some date got mixed up,
yes,
you technically could be Jesus.
I do have visions and shit, but basically, I think Christmas gets a bit less exciting each year, and everyone says the same thing.
I got walking boots, waterproof trousers, and pretty much socks, I think.
Nice.
And to be honest, apart from the socks, which everyone needs socks, right? My dad bought us all really nice presents. Not like crazy expensive, but nice things.
Like,
and then
well thought out ones.
Yeah, and then everyone got him socks.
Everyone?
Like, the only main presents he opened on the day were socks, and it broke my fucking heart. And I used to watch my granddad, and I hated my granddad because he was a dick to me, but I used to watch him on Christmas Day, and he'd get 2 packs of socks. And I'd be like, yes, everybody needs socks,
yeah,
but they're not a top-tier A-class present.
No, it's almost a cop-out, really, to do that.
It just broke my heart. And so I said to my dad, my present to my dad is I'm taking him to a car show, but I had to book it with him because it's for a specific date.
Yeah.
I should have probably put it in a card and been like, oh, we're going to go and do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, afterwards, so we texted him as a family and we were like, well, because he's got a fucked up shoulder, I was like, we'll pay for like a few treatments. I just felt so bad.
Socks.
But yeah, so I got those, the walking boots and the waterproof trousers.
Yeah.
Really excited about.
Really?
Genuinely. Because my walking boots literally have like 4 holes in each boot.
Yeah, you need those.
And now I can bang out walks constantly in the same pair of trousers without getting soaked.
Yes, that was good.
Socks, yeah, whatever, who cares?
I think presents-wise is fine. But like Christmas, this year I just didn't. Usually, because I'm young.
Yeah, wait, that's
I usually ask for stuff.
That sounds so selfish because you were like, oh, Christmas is a bit boring, and I immediately jumped to presents because I'm like a spoiled child. Mummy, yeah.
No, like the presents this year was like actually really good. I didn't ask for anything specific, so I got surprised with some cool stuff. But I just mean in general, like there's not really much hype anymore. I used to be nervous for Christmas because it's Christmas and my birthday,
and you're like
2 days in a row.
Fuck, Lego sets.
I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But now it's just like it goes so quickly.
I know.
And to be honest, after that first half of the day, when there's no more presents left, it just kind of feels like a normal day.
Oh no, see, my day was really nice because I now don't live with my family.
Yeah.
And my parents are technically divorced but really good friends. We just had everyone in one place.
Because you guys would stay together, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so
I'd still be in the same house.
We just have like a really nice family day, which feels like a rarity. So I actually enjoy that aspect more than the presents. There we go, saved it.
You did save it. Well done.
And then we went to For the Love Movement, which we will talk about in a separate episode because we got some stuff to talk about there. And then New Year was 3 days ago.
Yes, yeah, it was.
And
what did you?
I fell asleep on the floor at 10:30. Like literally, Sarah was watching The Witcher, which I was trying to get into, but I fell asleep at 9, just sitting on the sofa.
I reckon your sleep patterns are like that anyway, though.
I think it was just I was tired from For the Love Movement. I think like somehow it just wore off on me. I had been up super early because I had to take my mum to the airport.
Well, that would do it.
Because she's fucked off to Vietnam, leaving us with her dog for 2 weeks.
For New Year's.
She left on New Year's Eve. Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
So she had New Year's on the plane.
Oh, that's not as good as I thought.
No.
Not at all.
But yeah, I fell asleep. Sarah just watched The Witcher, and then I woke up at like 12:40, and she'd gone to bed, and I was just lying on the floor, and I was like, "This is depressing."
Yeah, I would. If I was around here, I would have just played Call of Duty until.
But that's even a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
And you had a party and threw up.
Yeah, I had a party. I threw up. Me and a mate threw up, and then my other mate, obviously I'm not going to name names, pissed himself in my bedroom.
I mean, that's how it should be, age 20.
Well, it was funny.
Oh, you're not even a teenager anymore.
No. Do you know the funny part is when No Name was throwing up in the toilet? My toilet, like yours in there, it doesn't have a silent shut.
Yeah.
And sometimes it will just fall shut.
Yeah.
Mine does that.
On the back of his head.
I was quite drunk, so I kept pulling it back up, going, "I'm so sorry," and leaving it to go and do something. It kept going, "dung" on the back of his head. And he did it like 20 times, and yeah.
Jesus.
But either way, it was all right. It was, it's New Year's.
So what's funny, right, listeners, is we essentially spoke about what we're going to talk about a fair amount in that episode that got deleted a few weeks ago, and it got weird and dark in places, and I don't think we'll return to that level.
No. But this was also done before New Year's, and I think it was a lot of time. How long before New Year's did we?
2-3 weeks.
Yeah. And I think now that we've just come past it is like the perfect time to talk about
what's
it.
really interesting is when we recorded that, I was like, I'm not getting into the like New Year's resolutions, new decade thing, but but now I understand because of that I really thought about it over that period, and I think the reason why it is so easy to fall into the like New Year, new me trap, and also this whole end of a decade thing is because you do fuck all over Christmas and New Year. So you basically sit at home for like a week and a half.
You almost sit with your thoughts
because everyone has the media pumps out all the stuff. Everyone has the same thoughts, so you end up reflecting a lot, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's just how you portray that. Yeah, no, but then you reflect in the times when you're eating the most and sitting around the most and doing all this shit. Yeah, when you're being the most gluttonous, you're like, I need to go to the gym. Yeah, exactly. And then once it gets past New Year's, it is just there's nothing else. Well, no, I don't say nothing else, but like there is no more festiveness. Yeah. So it is the perfect time to be like, whoosh. And also I just like that there's already that time frame of the year, so you can just easily, without creating, in 3 months I'm going to do this. It's just like, okay, I've started there. Although I find, but you can't be like in November and be like, I'll wait till New Year's to start my resolution. Yeah, because that's dumb. That's like that's the shit side. It's the like on the Friday you're like, I'll start the gym on Monday. It's like if you don't start it over the weekend, you're not going to fucking start. Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing I find actually, I didn't really set any proper resolutions. We'll go into this, but like. I did want to say I do want to be moving more, and I was like, I'll try and do something physical every day, whether it's like banging out press-ups or pull-ups or whatever, or actually training. You moved a lot for love movement, even though it was before. Fucking loved it. That's the thing. Yeah, you did some disgusting sticks. But January 1st, you wake up. I mean, I didn't drink and I wasn't like hadn't been partying, but January 1st is basically a write-off. Yeah, of course. And then, like, Sarah's not back to work for a few more days, so I've kind of, like, because I work from home, it's been hard to feel like the work life has started again. Yeah, you're still on New Year's. It feels like it's still a little New Year's. Yeah, a bit of a holiday. Yeah. But... So you're saying you haven't started yet? Well, no, but I have, because I banged out shitloads of stuff yesterday. Oh, really? So I had a really good day. Yeah. Fair enough. But, so what we were speaking about last time was that I think myself and Keelan are both at kind of these like tumultuous points. What a fucking word. Tumultuous. It reminds me of Mr. Tumnus from The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. That's a Royal Mail sack full of t-shirts, by the way. Yeah, I moved it so my legs can. Yeah. Mr. Tumnus is the centaur from Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe. As in like Narnia? Yeah. What? Anyway, tumultuous means kind of rocky, up and down. Yeah. And I think what we were saying last time is that you are... I mean, you've just turned 20 now, so it's like, oh shit, I'm no longer a teenager. Oh, I've had to get a job. Quick, work. Yeah. Figure out life quick before you can't figure it out. And I'm now almost 30, and it's like... And it's definitely getting to me as much as I really don't want it to. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, shit, I should be an adult. I should understand all of this stuff. I should be married with kids. And that's kind of what society says, and it's not necessarily what it has to be. It definitely is. And this day and age, you're finding a lot more people are not... everything's been pushed back a bit. Mm-hmm. but I'm like, fuck, I should be figured out by now, like, and I'm not.
But then you hear it from everyone. No one's figured it out.
Exactly, yeah.
But people can get to a more comfortable level than they have been. Doesn't mean they figured it out, but you know what I mean. We're all trying to get to a comfy level.
What was really interesting is I met up with some really old school friends who, some of them I haven't seen in 10 years, just before Christmas, and some of them I'd seen a little bit more recently and stayed more in contact with. We went for a couple of drinks, and their lives were in such, like, one has like 2 kids, and she wasn't working at the moment. To be honest, she didn't seem happy. It sounded like life had just kind of got on top of her. One of them was a lawyer, had 2 PAs, had 2 assistants.
Oh, yeah. You told me about that.
And I was like, wicked. Yeah, here's me. But then also, like, then you can angle your life, and they're like, but yeah, you get to do all this amazing stuff all the time. And it's like, yeah, shit, I should be grateful for that.
I think a lot of people who are your age and now have, like, kids, they love it. But even, who is it? Breach Chris.
Yeah.
He was
Backer,
he was telling me how much he's like loves having a family, but it was like, but don't take it for granted right now.
Yeah.
Like, because now he has to live the best of both worlds, but be careful of the repercussions.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is we could, if Sarah got pregnant tomorrow, my life would have to flip on its head, and the only focus would have to be money.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
she would go on maternity leave, and rather than being like, oh, I'm going to not earn as much, but kind of do the passion thing and grow
you'd have to find a 9 to 5 job.
It would either be I have 9 months to grow this to a massive level where it can support a family, or I get another job. So yeah, there's a lot of shit like that going through my head. But I think rather than doing what we did last episode, that thankfully then disappeared, which sounds like it's so convenient. Because now I keep talking about it. In hindsight, I'm a bit like, I'm kind of glad that didn't go out. Because I think I just got quite like...
I think...
I got a bit depressed, I think.
Yeah, but it was in that stage... I say stage. I think you knew you were at that, like, level anyway before we did the podcast.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure.
And I think that was what stemmed, like, to make that podcast.
Yeah. But genuinely, it did just get deleted by accident. But so rather than going too deep into that, I think we should talk about sort of bits of advice that I think myself and Keelan have become aware of with regards to, like, how to improve your life going forward. I mean, we've done, like, advice to live by and things, but some stuff that might be nice to remind yourself of, and I think, to be honest, it's good to remind myself of, because I write shit down all the time, and then sometimes I'll reread it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to actually do that.
Yeah, same. Have you ever caught yourself, you've written down the same thing a couple times?
Probably, but not being aware of it, I think.
Yeah, that's what I've looked through my notes before on my phone, and you don't check those as much as, like, a book or something.
Some kind of motivational,
and
like,
go through.
reminder.
Yeah, it'd be like, stop doing this, start doing that, and then it's like 3 times over the space of like 6 months, and you're like, what?
You're like, oh, I'm really not doing well.
That didn't work.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, sort of. I was going to ask you if you had any resolutions or aspirations or things, but I mean, the number one thing is, like, whatever you choose to do, whether it be go to the gym and get fit or earn more money or whatever, is simply not going to happen overnight, and you can't get disheartened if it doesn't. Like I said, I want to move daily. So far, I haven't done any. Well, I did some pull-ups and some press-ups, like a very minor amount. Like in my head, I was like, I'm going to train every single day. Haven't, like. I
mean, it's even a tiny bit of movements. You've done what you've said
exactly.
You're
Yeah,
do,
it's just mobility. Isn't
yeah.
it? Like, but yeah. So have you got any? Have you sort of sat down and been like, I want to get better at this?
Oh, what better? Well, actually, no. I have thought I want to get better after Full Love Movement. Yeah. I was like, wow, I really want to get better at sticking rail prees. Weirdly,
because you trained with me.
You were sticking some disgusting ones, and I was like, same with, like, Ed and everyone, and it was so fun. But I was like, I haven't done a training session in a while where I've actually focused on something. You just train, don't you?
I was, without licking your ass, because it's weird, because we just sat in a room together. Like, you fucking impressed me with the type of stuff you were committing to on that.
What, at For Love?
I don't know, like, I don't know, there were just certain things you do, and I'd be like, that's out your level, but you've done it anyway.
Oh, well, to be honest, Ed's very good at
You, Ed, and Jordan were having some incredible...
That was so fun.
Yeah.
That was so fun because I now know what... Because Jordan was hanging around with Ed quite a lot.
Yeah.
And everyone knows Ed is a fucking crazy man.
Non-stop.
But he's so good at getting you to do things.
Yeah,
Not in a sketchy way.
Yeah.
He's just like, look, this is fine.
His work ethic is incredible. Like, I think...
Really good.
He's uploaded maybe 7... It's such a weird thing because I look at it with admiration because I know it's going to benefit him as an athlete.
Yeah.
But also I know that it kind of... It's hypocritical because of what we've said about like YouTube over Instagram.
Yeah.
But he's
fuck
uploaded
that, it
like
doesn't matter
he's
anymore.
uploaded like 7 Instagram videos, like separate videos from that.
For love.
From so much training, and he nails the line.
He was just training. It's literally he used that event for exactly what.
I went to the shop on the first morning, right, and I was like, oh, that was it. I then realised I hadn't brought my toothbrush, and I was like, you going to the shop? He was like, no, I'm not leaving. He was like, I'm not leaving until the last day. He was like, I'm staying here and I'm training. And he just fucking trains. Like, he did actually end up going to the shop in the end, but
still, it was him and Jordan. There was a lot of times where I'd just woken up and I'd gone and got breakfast and I was like tired and all this shit.
And they're just on it.
And they had been on it for a few hours.
Yeah.
And no, they weren't going to bed early.
No.
They were sometimes they would stay up
first
later
night,
than me and have more beers than I would have.
And then get up
still
again.
wake up early and just start training.
But we'll go on to For the Love Movement.
Sorry, we had a bit of glimpse.
Aspirations, so you want to stick more? Or what are you going to say?
Well, yes, but also it brings me to something I realised recently is that I want to be spending more time, because I already do hang out with people that I aspire to be like, but hang out with more people that benefit me.
Of course, yeah.
This whole year and obviously forever.
Well, it is the thing, you are the culmination of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, i.e. spend time with people better than you at things and you will improve, whether it be... And that's I look at that sometimes, because we mentioned this in the last one, because I spend a lot of time on my own with Sarah, which is relationship, that's love essentially.
Yeah.
But like she isn't inspiring me to be a teacher or something like
it's completely different. Yeah.
I spend way too much time with my mum because I'm up there and I'm doing like the stock and everything. That situation is changing very soon. And I spend a lot of time with you. Yeah. Which is great because I think you inspire me to do a lot of things, but also you're not some high flying entrepreneur businessman who makes loads of money. Exactly.
It's all the different levels, but then there's things that like I like to hang out with people who are working towards something. If you hang around with too many people who don't have, I mean, both of us have no clue. Like this is why we're doing this. Like we don't really know what we're doing, but we do. Do you know what I mean? Like we're stuck.
We have aspirations.
But exactly. Yeah. So if we have aspirations, so it's easy to hang out with other people who are like that. It's so easy to relate.
Yeah. It freaks me out when I spend too much time, and it's so because we've all got friends and we've all got people who just don't. It's like, what are you doing with your life? And they're like, I don't know. Yeah. I'll just do this for a few more years. And you're like, whoa.
And it stays the same.
Yeah.
And you know it, and you've seen the same. It's like when you said when you go on a big trip and you come back and you're like, so what's changed? And it's,
it's exactly
a long
the
trip.
Same.
Everyone's just the same.
Yeah. And you're like, well, like in 5 years' time.
Like what happened? Did you do anything?
Philip's amazing for that. Philip from Airwhip. You go and sit with him for more than 2 hours and he'll go, what's your 5-year plan? And you're like, like why?
But that's sick if you hang out with Philip. Then
because it
suddenly
inspires you to start thinking that way. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think everyone should think about that. Because maybe there's people who haven't thought about that who are listening right now. I think, and they're like, maybe, I know I'm not moving as fast as I thought I would because I'm not picking. Like, you can't just remove friends. That's not what I'm saying. And you
shouldn't.
No.
It's just that you should. Well, spend your time wisely, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I quite enjoy sometimes spending time with just myself to be productive, and a lot of people do. That's choosing to be with friends or not to be with friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's that, I can't remember the exact sort of parable or whatever it is. That story, you've probably like read it on Facebook. It's what I always see it posted. And it's like a professor, and he comes in and he like pours, it's like you get a jar and you pour sand into it.
Yeah.
And then the jar like fills up. And then, like, you try and pour some rocks and some other stuff in, and it doesn't, like, you can't get anything else in because the sand's filled up. I can't remember. But basically...
It sounded so strange for me.
So the parable is, you get, like, a jar. I'll do it the other way around.
Yeah,
this is the payoff, essentially. You get a jar, and you pour into it, like, rocks, big fat
I
rocks,
think I know where this is going.
and you kind of go, well, that's your career,
Mm-hmm.
and that is filling up the jar. And then
Yeah.
you go, okay, and here's your family, and you pour in smaller rocks, and that also fills
Yeah.
up the jar. And you keep pouring, and then like you pour in sand, and
And
then
it
on top of
goes-
that, you pour in 2 beers, and the kind of the payoff
Yeah.
is like you will always be able to find, or like it's either you will always be able to, or you should always find time for like a few beers with some friends. Like,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't make that element of your life.
And that beer and doesn't mean drink alcohol necessarily. But,
No, it's
but
the
I know
time.
what you mean.
It's the time
It's,
aspect,
it's
yeah.
like that's your kind of mess
Probably
around time. That's
butchered
your...
that, but it's like you.
No, I get what you're saying because when you
Whoa! Fuck me! I almost hit record. I almost cancelled it, and then I punched the microphone. There we
nice. Yeah, like say if you were to put the sand in first because it's so solid, there might be more sand, but there's completely no room for the rocks.
go. Exactly.
But sand can go around the rocks and it
Yeah,
can
yeah.
fill up all the gaps.
Yeah.
But you should always be putting the rocks in first, which is like what
The
you
valuable
want,
things. Yeah.
what you want.
Exactly.
But yeah,
But-
and everyone knows what they value more. It's just hard to say it in front of people.
Yeah.
What about you?
What aspirations?
Mm.
I think I wrote some down for that previous podcast, and then I kind of went over some
But like,
on a separate list. Wait, you just said sticking precisions. Is that it?
well, no.
Is that it?
Is that it? Imagine if it was that. It's like, I
Yeah.
just want to stick more precisions. No, I just want to be more productive without feeling bad for feeling productive by creating. I just went in a loop there. I want to create way more content for myself as well, obviously, for the company, without feeling bad about it, because I've always said, fuck social media,
Yeah.
because it does annoy me, but I like creating it.
I think
I always feel
at the end of the
weird.
day, the internet and social media is a tool
Well,
that
it's
can
fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm actually very happy it exists.
Well, I mean, it's like I saw a thing literally last night, which is like in let's say a random state in America, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, the only job for a 20-year-old was to go and work in a mine.
Yeah.
Technically, right now, there is nothing stopping you from earning millions off of your phone.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you
it's
could
so
run a
crazy.
business that would happen to make, like, it's hard, but it's
Yeah, but it's not
whereas
impossible.
It was impossible 50 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
it simply wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
My ones are move daily, because I think it was for the Love Movement. I only trained a little bit because I was selling clothes, which was great, and thank you to everyone who came and bought stuff. But those training sessions that I did have, especially that last one, which was like a game of stick that then it turned into just a sick training session.
Yeah, it was just let's all do the same challenge.
Yeah.
which is
And
so
some of
good.
them I couldn't do, but I was
There were
surprised.
some grim ones, wasn't there?
I was surprised at the ones I could do against people like you and Ed, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, sick.
There was one that you were the only person to stick.
Yeah,
That
one,
last
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Like legit.
But it was the Tic Tac Rail Pre that I like almost bailed on, and then you were like, just before I went, you just said to me, you were like, commit.
Yeah.
What did you say? Commit and you'll have a good... No.
No, I said commit and you won't. I don't know. I said something about.
It was either commit and you'll have a good time, or commit and you won't have a bad time, or something like that. But it's
It's like if you don't commit, you're obviously gonna.
yeah.
Like it's obviously gonna go shit.
It basically just
If you
made me...
fully commit, you will commit to safely bailing as well.
Yeah, and
you
I was
like
just-
you know you do parkour. You
Well,
know
it's
how to
really
bounce
weird.
off.
I knew that, obviously, but the way you phrased it in that exact moment, I was like, well, fucking obviously, and then just like nailed it for not first time, but like did it and was like, oh, and I was
That's
so...
how Ed. I think that's how Ed trains.
Yeah, I was so happy. So
Yeah.
I want to train more, and I need to stop making excuses to not train by being like, oh, I need to do this admin thing.
Yeah,
because at the
yeah.
end of the day, I go home and I sleep happy,
Yeah.
which feels good. Take some decent time off of drinking. I say give up drinking, but that's a weird one because I think moderation is the thing I should be trying to achieve first. I'm pushing for this dry January or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Just because it's like it's an easy thing to do because after New Year. I'm
gonna try it too then.
because you and me drink too much when we do this.
Yeah. I just
And release a movement video, which is what I said last year, never happened, but I should make it happen.
I can push you to do that.
My other thing is debt-free personal, because I got this stupid credit card that I got when I was like 18 that it just sits there, and I could easily pay it off in like a year if I actually tried.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
What, did you get a credit card when you were 18 and you just used it?
Was I 18? It was when I started working at Apple, and I had to get 6 months train fare up front, like a thing, and it was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I didn't have it, and my parents would lend it to me.
Did you still live around here?
Yeah, I lived in Cranbrook.
And you worked in London?
I worked in London full time for about 10 months, I think, and it was the most soul-destroying thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
So I basically just chucked a load of money on a credit card, which was fucking dumb, and then basically ended up maxing that out, and I've just never tried to pay it off. So
pay it back.
It's not necessarily debt-free, but it's also I want to get more control of my finances, personal ones. And then put myself out there, utilize the internet, act more successful, and project that. Make money, become happy in the present, realize when my worries are based on the future.
The thing about act more successful, or not even act, because you don't need to act, but like
it's projection, isn't it? Like,
well, as well as that, it benefits you, and then you're not. We're very, very fortunate. So that, do you know what I mean? That we are all successful.
Yeah,
it's really weird to say that. I know we're not like on top of things,
but within the realm,
to keep like moaning about it, even though it kind of helps, is kind of quite bad, because there's so many people who have it so much worse. So,
I just, when I say like,
and people will look at you and then be inspired if you just show how.
Well, I think that's what I mean. We've said we want to tell more of the story behind the brand and do more like BTS things, and I think I want to like try and.
You need to show your. I was going away from Mike. You need to show yourself and personality more, even though there's a lot of it on the internet. But I think on a regular basis to benefit the company.
And I think it benefits me rather to put myself down than to try and focus on the things that, because I can be in a really good mood and be like, I am actually quite good at sort of this or that or doing this.
Yeah.
And I think if I project that forward more, and not in an arrogant way, but just like if I project it rather than kind of dismiss it.
Yeah,
I think that's more beneficial to me. So that's kind of my goal.
I think nearly all of the things that are on that list are in my head to get better at this year, which is pretty sick.
We can inspire each other.
Yeah.
But so to go back to the list of like, kind of to make things actionable for yourself is that, I mean, that is literally it. Is make it actionable. So. You like, I can't, and I've said it before, I've been like, I'm going to sort out my personal finances, but I don't actually do it.
And then you don't do it.
I don't actually set up a budget.
Yeah.
So whatever it's going to be, whether it's like I'm going to go to the gym or I'm going to train more, it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to train parkour every single day or I'm going to go to the gym every single day.
You really can't. You need to be really realistic.
Yeah. And it's way easier to build things up. So it's so much easier to say, like, I'm going to go to the gym once this week. And then you do that for a few weeks, and you're like, fuck, that's quite easy. Let me go twice. And you go twice, and you might slip back down, but you'll never slip. You wouldn't go twice back to, like, 0. You'd most likely go sort of twice back to 1. So definitely. By making it actionable, you can step up and down the kind of the progress ladder, and it's easier to build on.
And, well, also just acting upon it.
Yeah.
ASAP. And even if you can't, because I've had situations where I'm like, okay, I'm going to act on it now, but I actually physically can't because of situation. Maybe it's like late at night. Do you know what I mean? It's not, well, you're about to go to sleep, but try and benefit maybe tomorrow if that's when you can do it, or schedule in a day when you can definitely do it, commit to it, write down shit somewhere.
Well, that's why
like what you're going to do, so that when it comes to that time, it's way easier, and you already, tell that friend that you were going to meet up on Thursday that, I'm sorry, like, I've got to do this thing now.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I think that is the thing, is you do have, it's so easy to come up with sort of motivational things when you're lying in bed, and then a lot of the time you don't action on them because you're like, well, I'm in bed. And as much as it's bad to then get your phone out, like, I find myself writing lists for the next day or the week ahead often when I'm in bed, because I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah.
But it helps. And if you get used to, I mean, we've talked about lists so many times on this, but if you get used to writing lists and working through them, the little endorphin rush you get for like tick, tick, tick. Like, I banged out my entire list yesterday. Did some of the stuff I thought was going to be like going on for the next week. and I sort of did it all in one day and was like sick. And
Brilliant.
Like even this morning, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
killed it.
When it's a relatively large list, like, well, you can see the girth on that list. And then it goes away. That is always really good.
We love a girthy list. But yeah, so make it actionable and just start, but break it down and make it small. Like it's. I'm trying to think of the example. Like it's like fucking parkour. You don't just immediately rock up to London and go like, oh, I'm gonna double Kong IMAX. Like you learn how to fucking run at a wall and do single Kongs first. No, you learn a standing Kong first. Yeah. Like there's a lot of steps of progression, and that can be applied to every single other thing in life. Like, and on the flip side of that, you can then take that and expand on it. So you've learned your double Kong, i.e. you've conquered the initial thing that you set out to do, which was maybe go to the gym 3 times a week for a year, and then you're like, cool, well, I've obviously benefited from that. Now let's I'm going to earn a certain amount of money. Once you've learned how to earn that money and got to that stage, you're probably not going to go, let's just keep it at that level. Yeah, well, you're going to level it up, like,
yeah, because that becomes a little easier. Yeah, doesn't it, to maintain that bit of money that you said you were going to...
It's the reason why parkour is... Well, I think a lot of sport is so relatable to life and why you can apply it, because parkour is a constant progression. Life is a constant progression. Like, you don't stop... Well, you shouldn't ever stop trying to progress.
No.
Like, and
well, as humans, we kind of...
Well, that's the thing, but some people do. Some people just go like, cool, I've got a shit job and I've got myself into a relationship I'm not happy with and got a baby or whatever,
but then they're just slaves,
and I'm just gonna sit and watch Netflix every single evening and do this, and it's like, well, where's the progression, where's the aspiration? And it's hard to get out of that rut for sure, but
that's why I like that song, The Lives They Wish They Had by Slaves, because that whole song is just about that. It's so sick, because it is, there's loads of that's why this podcast right now, what we're doing right now, kind of exists, because I'd want people to act, obviously. Yeah. Because if you're sitting there and you're wishing upon things and you're in that state, then you know,
it is weird.
There's no point just wishing. You really have to.
Oh, the weird thing is
commit.
Some of life makes it quite hard in some ways. Like the really obvious one is like getting fit requires 2 things: eating healthily and exercise. Technically, that equation is very fucking simple. Yeah. But it actually then making that happen is quite hard. And I think it's very easy to wish, but it's breaking it down and taking that first step. Like, and sometimes you'll wish about something for a year and aspire to do something for a year, and then suddenly something will click. For me, it's like and this is why the internet's so good, because even like personal budgeting, money, no one teaches you that shit at school. None of my parents ever taught it to me. Like, I didn't know for so long that the best way to essentially increase your savings, etc., is to simply set out a very fucking tight budget and kind of give every bit of money an allocated job, whether it be savings or fuel or whatever. And that is, like, it's so fucking proven. But none of this shit was taught to me. And so the idea of sort of being... like amassing a level of wealth and personal savings and budgeting was just like, oh, I want to do that, but I didn't know how. And then somebody's like, oh, well, try actually using a budget. Here's an example. And you're like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, and it's sometimes you need almost like the key to be unlocked, the door to be unlocked for you through something that, I mean, fucking anything you want to do, Google it, basically. Yeah. It's, and
that should be your first. Well, nearly everyone has got a phone, haven't they? You've got the internet.
It might not give you the most obvious answer straight away, but then you might need to break down another question that arises from that search, whether it be like how to get stronger legs or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
So the internet's fucking powerful. What else have we got? Oh, I mean, have stamina is the one, and this was.
I struggle with this, I think.
Yeah, it's maintaining
just
what you're doing.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work after a short period of time,
it's wanting
usually
to
for me, I'm like, this doesn't really feel right.
Yeah.
But I now know that little feeling of just like not feeling okay. it's so easy to just get through it if you just carry on going.
It's the moment when you should push, basically. Yeah. Like, so
it's the moment when you should push the hardest, isn't it?
Yeah, because we listened to a
Is it the
interview
Dyson
with
one?
James Dyson, who's the guy who invented
Because that's when everyone gives up.
the Dyson, and he at the very end, it's really nice. He says because he says he used to do a lot of sprinting or no long distance running.
Yeah.
And he said in running, when people get tired, they start to slow down. But if everyone else around you is starting to slow down, that's when you should accelerate, because that's when your results will like. And it's so it can be applied anywhere, because even if it's you trying to get fit or you trying to do another task in life,
that's when you become better.
Yeah, you yourself will become better, but also it will help you get past the norm. If you accelerate when you should be slowing down, like, it's very, very true, I think.
That is really, really sick.
It's fucking hard to apply. It's so hard to apply, but I think you can't get disheartened. This is my other thing that I want to do this year. Is straight up try more things that I almost certainly think I'm going to fail at. Not physically.
Okay, cool.
Well, so not physically, because I'm. It's weird to admit it, but I think I am really scared of failure. And I was talking to someone else about this a while ago, and because they were like, "Oh, you succeed at a lot of the things you want to do," and I'm like, "Well, that's because I only try the things that I think I can succeed at."
Yeah.
So.
Try more things that you... Yeah.
Well, it's really weird because...
What type of things would that be? Have you figured that out yet?
Not 100%. I mean, it's a really weird one in my brain, because it's almost like the fucking Railpree thing, right? Where I go into them with... Because I'm not great at a lot of parkour stuff, but with Railprees, I just look at it and I go in with this, like, dickhead sense of cockiness.
What, like, you will land on it, so...
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm going to land on it. It's a thin rail. Like, if it was a wall... there's a chance I'll overshoot it, and I can land like across the wall a bit, and I'm not going to stick it.
Yeah.
But with a rail, I'm like, well, there's only one place I can land on this, and I know how it feels. So as long as it's within my jumping distance, so I kind of just like cockily, I'm like,
well, it's gonna be cockily.
Like cockily.
Yeah.
I'm like, just jump and get your feet to it, and hopefully you'll stick it. And obviously you'll stick.
It is a good attitude though to do that, because
but I can't do that with like a Compris, because I have to run. But
it's that confidence just really fucking helps. It really does. If you can trick yourself into being confident, not in a dangerous way, because but it
so
works.
I kind of apply that to like, I mean, even like setting up Motus. I don't remember ever being like, oh, I'm going to set this thing up and it's going to do badly.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, I'm going to start a brand and it's going to be massive.
Yeah.
And although nowadays, as it's now more established, and I have had some really like fucking dark days, but that's, I think, more down to mental health.
Yeah.
There have been periods where I've been like, oh, I'm giving it all up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to succeed at it.
Yeah.
I can't go into a test doing that, because a test is
and you
like...
always hear that, though, when people think in that way, it works it most likely works.
Yeah, because you don't give yourself another chance.
Yeah, in the podcast we've listened to, was it How We Built This? Or
How I Built This,
How I Built This. It's always the way. It's when they've got, like, the most confidence and the most drive and the most passion for it. It's going to work. I'm
just like, well, I don't have another choice. I'm not going to give myself another choice. So I'm only going to make it work. So I think that's why in the few things that I've, like, cherry-picked and tried to do, I've been... I mean, it's not like I've been wildly successful, but, like, I've been okay at within this sort of... this realm.
So you want to try some...
yeah, but I don't...
Physically?
No, more like... sort of just trying to, because I think the other thing I'm scared of is judgment from others.
Oh, same, yeah.
Like I do worry. Like, let's say I was gonna fucking write a song and be a rapper. Not gonna do that, by the way. Part of me would fucking love to. I'd love to be able to spit bars, and sometimes in my car I'm like, oh, maybe I could.
Yeah, that's the only time when no one's listening.
So that's an example, right, of like more the type of thing that I'm thinking I should almost try and do not dumb shit, but stuff that's kind of not me.
Yeah.
And if it fails, or if people think, Giles, you're an idiot, like, why did you just put a song on SoundCloud? It's shit. I can go, I don't actually care.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think you have to be careful in that way of thinking if it affects other people. Like, you can't go out and start smashing shit up in the street and...
No, because that's... Yeah.
Like, but I think in terms of, like, personal output... that's almost what I want to do more of. And if you judge me, as much as that might hurt my feelings, I have to get past that, because at the end of the day it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
I obviously.
And what other people think of you is none of your business.
And technically,
It isn't your. That's within their mind and their brain.
And we can all be judgmental as fuck, and like we can. I mean, like there's not one person on the planet I haven't met that hasn't said a snarky thing about someone else.
Yeah,
Like
it
I think that's
all the time.
I think that's the problem.
It's
is
so hard to get over it though. I find it so difficult.
Yeah,
I find it so difficult. I always care about what people think, but
always.
But then it's so easy to be like, actually, do you know what? I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think the thing that's hard is, let's say like we came up with a sick product for Motus, and I love. I don't know. Good example. Using music that I like for a video edit. Somebody might come along and be like, "That's shit," and I can be like, "I do not give a fuck because this is my creation."
Yeah.
In a scenario like that, that's really easy not to give a fuck. I think it's when you have self-doubt. So let's say I was like, I think I'm quite good at guitar. I'm gonna try and write a song, and then I put it out, and somebody's like, like, then it's hard.
Yeah, if it already slightly exists
But
and someone amplifies
technically, it doesn't matter.
No, yeah. Well,
Like,
it doesn't matter.
That's the thing I always have to remind myself is like, you're not gonna die.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It doesn't kill you.
Yeah, it doesn't kill you.
They're not gonna kill you for it. It's just you can.
Like I don't. It's not like I want to do something that's gonna jeopardize sort of my career or family or anything like that. But I think I need to be a little less caring of just like having more fun with life.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do more of, and I think other people should aspire to do the same thing.
Yeah, you need to be thinking about the fun.
I mean, I'll judge the fuck out of you, and if you try and write a song, I'll probably say it's shit. But it doesn't matter, does it?
I think also everyone should.
I might write a song
life.
now. I'm gonna start writing raps.
Go on then, and you got to play the guitar to it.
Yeah, I'll
I
rap
reckon that one-
guitar, rap metal.
I reckon.
Bring back Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, but with really, really, really good lyrics because you love lyrics.
Well, like deep and political and like really long words. Like, I'd be like, both at tumultuous times in our lives.
What is that word?
Tumultuous.
Yeah, what?
It means like up and down.
Up and down.
Like kind of. I think so. Let me check.
Reminds me of turmeric or turmeric.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something completely different.
Oh.
Oh, you used the wrong word.
Well, I kind of did and I kind of didn't. Making an uproar or loud, confused noise, tumultuous applause, or excited, confused, or disorderly. That doesn't really.
Don't even know how you can be
What is tumultuous behaviour?
excited and confused at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been excited and confused.
How do you use tumultuous?
But when have you ever been excited and confused? I can't ever think about that. Excited and confused.
I mean, dogs are like that all the time, aren't they? They're like,
It's very true.
He touched his face, tumultuous emotions crossing his face. What the fuck is that? What is the definition of the word? Disturbance? Yeah, it kind of works.
Yeah,
I kind of
whatever.
used it in the right way.
It works.
It made me sound intelligent until now.
Yeah.
So.
And now everyone's judging you, and now you really care.
But I don't care.
Yeah, I know, it's just a word.
We've got a podcast and you haven't,
Yeah.
unless you're one of the few people who also have podcasts.
Everyone needs to appreciate life. Everyone needs to appreciate life.
Yeah.
Easy one to do. Yeah, kind of easy. For any situation.
You went and had a walk. I think we spoke about that in the podcast.
Yeah, I haven't done one since because I've been waking up late.
Keelan went for a walk without his phone.
Yeah.
That is honestly unheard of for me. So,
well, because I was thinking, what if someone walks over me? What if a horse kills me, or accidentally kicks me in like
did you
my
see
ribs?
a horse?
Yeah. Do you not remember me telling you that? There was like 4 horses, and they all like crowded round me really, really close.
I don't think you told me this.
Didn't I? And I was like, I was really scared, but I was like. It was almost like parkour. I like pushed through it and was like just like
cool 999.
Yeah, well, I was just if I walked around the back of them and one just kicked
Booted
me,
you, yeah,
and I just got knocked out.
But to be fair, having a phone wouldn't help you then either way. So.
Oh yeah, good point. What if it like smacked me in the stomach and then I'd like in turn like.
I do like my mum goes out riding her bike on like hectic roads without her phone. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like
yeah, that's.
I was like, as much as we should be enjoying life and we don't have to have a phone on, like if you get knocked into a hedge, age 62 or whatever she is, like
broken some bones and you can't move.
And and if you could ring me and you can't because your phone's at home, then I'm pissed. Like,
yeah.
So
no, but more like this morning. I woke up and I was like, I woke up, like I was saying, I woke up late. And and then obviously I felt really shit for ages. And then once like I was doing things, like I was just tidying my room just before I'd leave. And then you'd like look outside and you just remember like, that's really stupid. Because none of it matters, so it doesn't matter.
You beat yourself up quite a lot about like your actions. Like I could tell you sent me because basically Keelan was aiming to be here sort of earlyish this morning.
I think it's just because I know I want to edit today, and I want to get something done, and I let myself down because I create a time. You didn't say when I should come here.
No,
but I think
we kind of said 10ish, like 10, 11. Like.
Yeah, but I was gonna maybe even come earlier before you said that.
Yeah.
What lets me down more, which is quite stupid, is when I set my own time and then I can't even do that, and that's so annoying.
I think what you have to do in that scenario, and I'm far from perfect on this, but is you have to just accept that has happened and move on.
Yeah.
Like it's basically just because the longer you dwell on something and beat yourself up or beat someone else up, like you kind of get pissed at someone else for a decision they've made. It's just pointless. Like that decision has happened.
It's done. Move on to the next one.
It's done. Just now you have to deal with the circumstances.
Live and you learn. Next one.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, I've woken up late. Damn, that's annoying. Okay, I'll eat breakfast. I'll let Giles know. I'll do this.
Well, you adapt, don't you? And then the next time, hopefully,
you learn.
Pray to God that I remember that, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that happened last time.
But if
I will go
again,
to sleep.
Like,
oh yeah, you have to
just deal with it again. Like,
yeah. Well, something like that, it's very easy to say that because it doesn't affect anyone. Or it does. It doesn't, not in a really negative way. Don't apply that to going out and punching people and hospitalising them and go, oh, do you know what?
That's done now.
That's done now. Hopefully next time it won't happen.
Yeah,
but
I think given the circumstances, there are things that need a little bit of dwelling or thinking about an action. Like, oh, fuck, like I let my boss down because I slept in. Like, you need to think. But it's the people who, dwell.
Yeah. It annoys me more when it's like you dwell on something someone else has done for a long period of time, and it's like, it doesn't matter anymore, man.
And the other
Move
thing is,
on.
and it's like the jealousy thing as well kind of comes into that. And I can be like this, like you see someone else doing something with their life, and it kind of it's like, oh well, I'm not doing that. Like I want to be, like I have aspirations to do that as well, or like, oh fuck, like I should have done. I mean, something that occasionally pops into my head recently is I've obviously slowed down the filmmaking side of things a lot. Like I own a racing drone because I used to fly it with Kai. Kai's now like really accelerating hard with his filming stuff, with the drone stuff, and doing all this amazing racing drone things, and like he's really pushing that element of his business. And very occasionally I'll see a clip and I'm like, shit, should I have focused, like should I have stayed with that because maybe there's a career path there. But I'm like, thankfully it's fleeting, because it's just like, well, I didn't, so I can't. Yeah. And maybe I could pick it up now, but it's not my focus. So it's. But
like, does it really draw you in?
Exactly.
Loads. If there was a career path there or not,
it looks fucking sick on Instagram. But if I'd enjoyed it that much,
the actual act of doing it without that side,
fucking hard. Yeah.
It's really really hard, and it might not be as good as just looking at the outcome.
Well, obviously, and that's the thing. It's like, well, if I'd enjoyed it that much, I would have stuck with it, but I haven't, so I can't beat myself up about. Not being there now. And it's this thing I've got written down, which is don't confuse admiration with aspiration. Yeah. Like focus on your own life. So it's like you can admire something and you can celebrate it. And I actually read the other day that there are 3 different types of jealousy, which I now can't tell you exactly what they are. Yeah. But there's essentially one that is like just straight up, you kind of hate what they've done because of almost a flaw with you. There's I can't remember the other one, and then there's one that is technically considered jealousy, but it's more of like an admiration. It's just But
this is why I just enjoy. No, maybe I don't enjoy watching, but I appreciate now every type of parkour content related to parkour content, just because if they're enjoying doing it, if it's got something to do with parkour and I can kind of relate to it, I know that they're probably just enjoying the process of it, and then it's going out.
It's like a celebration of the sport rather than trying to judge it on
like... we've obviously had a big thing with like some Instagram people posting like really shitty content and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like maybe I'm just jealous because I haven't pushed that hard with
And
my
you're
Instagram.
not getting those views. And
Not getting those views.
Technically, you could be like, well, I could sort of do what Kiri is doing. And
Yeah, but then I don't find
But you're not.
That's where
So
I think I'm like, well, I wouldn't enjoy making that. So that's, I think we had the same thing with like Stora vlogs for a bit.
yeah, where it's like,
those vlogs, but now I really appreciate it because I'm like, wow, it's them managing to make a living out of just training.
yeah,
And I fucking love training. If I could do kind of that sort of thing,
yeah,
and I would, obviously.
yeah.
But so that's where you got to kind of make moves.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean, Star are a relatable one because obviously it's like parkour team, clothing, video content, etc. And they're obviously incredibly successful now, so it's very easy to compare.
Yeah.
And I even for me, it would be very easy to be like, oh well, like because I've known them for fucking years now, like pre-Stora.
Yeah.
Like I was making videos with Callum and Sasha pre-Stora, and it'd be very easy to get like bitter and be like, oh, if I'd done something different back then, I could have maybe joined Stora, and then I could be in Stora, and I could be, and it's like, well, no, because I fucking didn't. So like, don't. And I think some people get stuck in like almost rabbit holes like that. Like you'll always meet those people who have been around success years ago, and they're kind of, I mean, in a film, they're always that drunk guy in a bar, and they're like hating because they were there at the start, and then they made a decision,
and they never made,
and they can't let it drop.
Yeah,
like, they can't.
But also, they never made their own moves.
Yeah.
You've got to make your own moves with that.
Well, it's like you are the only fucking dictator of your own life.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I think that comes down to, it relates to that thing we were saying just before we went live about like making decisions and moving on.
Yeah.
It's like if you have two decisions to make in life, you need to do your research, you need to think about them. But
yeah, you can obviously plan towards them, but you have to.
But once you have made a decision, you cannot look back and you can, but you made that decision, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, oh, do I?
But I have that with like, oh, should I go to the shop now? Now or
I mean, I've seen you walk around shops. Yes, it is.
Yeah. What should I get at the shop? I'll just make a decision because that's their that's done.
Oh, we need to make 2 t-shirts for Motus, and we have 4 different colorways. Which colorways do we do? And at the end of the day, you can you can think about it, and then you just got to be like, okay, we're doing these, and then one of them might not sell so well. You can't be like, I hate myself, we didn't do the green one. It's like, well, lesson learned, move on. That's it. Like, lesson fucking learned, move on.
Yeah, it's easy.
And the other thing I have written down, which is fucking hilarious, because the amount, I think we all fall into the trap a little bit, but it's like, it's the whole keeping your aspirations to yourself. Like, I don't think you should work in silence. I'm a huge fan of showing the process, but I don't think anyone really cares about the like, in 2020 I'm gonna do it for the next decade, I'm gonna kill it, bro. Like,
because then if you
like,
exactly. If anyone sees anything else but that, then they've failed, and it's just not nice for that person, and also everyone.
Well, yeah, it doesn't look good for yourself if you big it up too much, and then 3 days in you fuck it.
It's better to imagine keeping it to yourself, and then people just realise it going right.
It's
without them
in
knowing
a year's
aspirations.
time ripping off my top and having rippling abs, massive,
and no one knows that you've wanting to get fit. And I'm like, Giles, when did you? Well, I didn't know you were like that.
I've been going to the gym 3 days a week for the last year, and just didn't fucking put it on Instagram. Like, in some ways, yes, you could then put it on Instagram to show the progress and be like, oh, I'm at the gym today. So it does depend on how you want to market yourself. I think it just comes down to tone of voice.
Yeah.
Like, prove yourself with your actions rather than just fucking shouting about it and doing nothing.
But I've done that before with like.
We all do.
I'm gonna start posting more stories. Watch out, because there's gonna be so many stories.
Watch out, guys.
Watch out! I'm gonna be posting, and then it just doesn't happen. Instead, just do it, and then.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it will work.
Yeah,
it'll work out.
So, I think, yeah.
I haven't. By the way, I've been going off your show notes because
the iPad locked.
It locked, and I just couldn't be bothered to.
Yeah, that's fine. So you've been reading these upside down.
Yes,
nice. Along with what do we got? How to use GSI barcodes or GS1 barcodes.
Is that for yourself? Is that to?
That was just random shit I was writing down. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't understand how it's 54 minutes.
Because we're talking gods.
I legit thought it was 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why
You
it
just
went fast.
Banged it out. Well,
It's not banged out because I can't read the rest of the...
that's
Goodness.
it in terms of those notes. But
Wow.
listeners, I hope you've enjoyed this kind of slightly all over the place episode, but more coherent than a lot of ours, to be fair.
Yeah.
We're
But we never said they weren't going to be all over the place.
no, I think as you would have hopefully realised with this podcast, we're going to have some episodes where you come away and you're like, fuck yeah, and other episodes where you come away and you're like, what the fuck? That's just the way it should be, personally.
Well, I think it's kind of all entertainment, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just going to tingle different senses of your brain.
Tingle different parts of your body.
Yeah.
But I mean, where's the podcast going this year?
Maybe
we haven't discussed it,
no.
so let's do it now.
I think maybe we should try and backlog more because we have been talking about that.
We need to backlog more. We need to get more high value interviews with people.
Yeah, maybe have like a specific book or a specific thing of like what we're gonna do with it. So it's there. That was badly explained.
I literally have no idea what you're talking
a book. So we know. No, but like have loads of people in a list that we would like, no matter.
Well, like this guest list here
Yeah,
that I have in our, in
but
our
no,
Trello.
it doesn't matter if we know if they can come on or not. Just be like, oh, one day I want them on.
Yeah.
Some of them could be completely stupid.
Yeah.
They might not be stupid parkour.
Craig Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly. Have them on the list, and then you just tick them off. They can. Some of them have already come back for thirds, haven't they?
Yeah, very true.
So I'd like to do that, and maybe even structure them. Maybe try different structures.
I think we probably
not for keeps. Just be like, oh,
experiment a little bit.
should we try on this one? Like, do this for the first half and this for the second half, and maybe bring in another music minute thing that's easier to stick with.
Yeah. Top fives are a popular one.
Yeah.
I
like that.
But I mean, also, I think we want to be aiming for weekly episodes. I don't think we'll push for more than weekly for the time being because we've been pretty good with weekly, but I think we want to.
I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, with
how
regards to
regularly we've managed
length.
it.
I mean, we've always been I think we've always been close to an hour, but sometimes we have had the sort of hour and a half, 2 hours. Hendo's one was a freak. I don't
If
think
it wasn't
we should,
split into two,
Yeah.
was that 3 hours? His one.
it
or
was
not?
almost 3. Yeah. I don't think we should go crazy. Like hour and a half, I think is good for us.
Yeah.
We can't. We said this
Good
one
for
was,
us mentally, I think.
We said this one was going to be 40 minutes, and it's 57
Yeah.
right now. So,
because I was saying to Hendo after the 3 hour one, we were talking on the way out to the car, and then we both kind of just stopped, and I was like, I don't really know how to talk to you normally because I don't know whether
It's like
I don't know whether people are listening or not.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
someone's listening.
Yeah.
And I want to do merch, but I want to do stupid merch.
Yeah.
Let
so stop saying it and let's do it.
Let's do it. Very true. Let us know, followers, listeners. I people have asked in the past. Oh, there we go. That was my first fucking rhyme. People have asked in the past. Not sure what that accent was. And
Jamaican.
I don't want to do like a podcast T-shirt because that's lame, and I wouldn't want people wearing that. I'd rather do some dumb shit. Not dumb, but like something that's fun because this podcast is fun.
We've had some ideas, but don't tell them on
No,
on air.
We've had some ridiculous ideas, but it's whether or not people would want to be part of something and like and the running theme that we kind of I don't know if it'd be weird because it would be the whole Street Parrots thing, which has popped in and out and was prevalent in the How to Build a Parkour brand thing. And so we're at.
I think Street Parrots will obviously stick.
We're
with
at
something.
I'd rather do Street Parrots merch than podcast merch.
Yeah, so would I.
We're
Because
at-
that would be podcast. Merch.
Yeah, we're at Full On Movement, and I stand up on the bunk beds and look over into like the normal sleeping section, and in the dark, someone just goes Street Parrots, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So
That is good.
I think it
That
was
is very good. When's what number podcast is this?
I actually don't know. We're like
When it-
maybe 50s.
50s.
Oh,
50s. That's pretty good, isn't it?
well, but we did bang out a number at an APC.
Oh yeah.
So-
But were they were released separately?
They
so
were
they
their
still
own
count?
mini series, but they technically come under the same episodic thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just like to know when episode 100 is
that'll be next year.
next year.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, this year, maybe.
This year. I know. I think we should do something cool for.
Very
100.
true. What I also want to do, listeners, is and actually this is down to listeners who have power. I want to do more podcasts at events. So let's say you are hosting the Sport Park All League or the Red Bull at Emotion or sort of the equivalent. I want myself and Keelan to be there. I want it to be organised. I mean, I don't want you to do it all. We'll obviously work with you. But I think they are a great opportunity to capture a load of different people because the NAPC ones were so fun. And also I think they're a good opportunity to market your event.
I think so too. And to advertise our podcast.
Exactly. I mean,
Obviously.
like, imagine we're at...
Oh, it's an hour. Sorry.
Oh, fuck.
I watched it happen.
Imagine we're at Rebel at Emotion and we've got like 6 episodes with the podium winners done on the last day.
I'd love to do Art of Motion.
I think it'd be good
really,
for the
really
listeners.
cool.
I think it'd be good for us. It'd be good for the event. So
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there. I'm manifesting it.
Yeah.
I'm projecting it. Tickety boo.
Let's fucking shut this off.
Yes. Well,
Because we've got another one coming at you. Fast and smooth,
we're
but
actually going to
obviously a
record
week.
another one straight now and then release it in a week's time. Backlogging. Subscribe, share, etc., etc. We've been a bit shit over Christmas. I apologise to our numbers have dropped.
Hasn't everyone?
Yeah, but let's keep this train running. And thank you so much to everyone because I mean we met so many people who listen and total people that I just wouldn't expect as well.
Yeah. I love it when people... Do you know what? It's sick. Obviously, it's fucking nice when people you don't know say that, thanks for doing the podcast.
Yeah.
But when it's people I do know, I'm even more shocked.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, but I've spoken to you in real life. That's really weird.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, are you not sick of this voice?
Yeah.
So,
No, it is cool, especially when it's people that I would look up to.
yeah, that's always nice.
It's really cool.
So,
Amazing.
amazing.
Quick. People need to message about... I get messages like saying they've like listened to the podcast or like they share the podcast, but I actually still rarely like get messages about ideas and like what
Topics.
they like. Yeah, topic ideas.
Yeah.
Because it always helps us, and I'd like to know exactly what people
Want. Yeah.
It's just so nice.
Fulfill the service.
Anyway, fuck off.
Amazing.
Fuck off.
Thank you all very much. Love you. Bye.
Bye.